I'm Elisa, and my band is the Agonist from Montreal.
So I mean, you're alive.
Yes.
How does it feel to have rushed so close to death? I mean, last year you had a van accident in the road.
Yeah. Well, I mean that wasn't as close to death as it could have been. Luckily, I've heard worse stories from other bands. I mean, our trailer took the brunt of the hit for us, so we were okay. Our gear was sort of okay. Our trailer was not okay. Yeah, given like some other circumstances and stuff that was going on, we felt it was better to just go home at that point. But yeah, we're looking forward to getting back on the road and touring, not in the winter.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
From my observation, I mean, you guys canceled a few tours. I mean, how did label respond to that? Because I mean, they were really behind that first album of yours, and I mean, it was a huge hype release.
Well, I mean, we actually didn't really cancel any tours. It was just the Enslaved tour that we kind of had to because our gear was like not really going to work. I mean, it did go upside down in a trailer, so that's not the best thing for it. And other than that, there was just the Nile tour that was just like kind of like a mix-up. There was a lot of confusion surrounding it, you know, like were we going to do it, were we not, should we do another album? So it's just a big mix-up, and I mean, the label, like, they pretty much back us whatever we do, so it's not really an issue.
Okay, cool. You're back in the studio now?
Yeah, well, we're almost done our album. I mean, we had to stop for a bit because the guy recording it is in Cryptopsy, and he went on tour for the summer, so we have to put it on pause for a bit, but when he comes back, we're going to finish it up, so.
How's it sounding?
It's sounding really good, yeah. It's coming along really well. It's a little different than the first album, but it's definitely more of the direction that we want to go in, so I think people that like the first album will definitely like it, and other people will also like it, so it should be good.
Now the Agonist is different from a lot of metal bands. I mean, your age especially, in that you involve a lot of political issues. You have a lot of causes that you support. Talk a little about the ones that are most dear to you.
Well, I mean, for me, it's the causes that are closest to me are just the ones that I was raised with, which would have to be like, you know, just generally respect for other people and other species and the planet itself. Because I find all too often maybe people don't really think twice before they act. They might not consider that what they're doing might have consequences that they didn't, you know, think about beforehand. So I would say that, you know, people in general should just keep an open mind, you know, like, don't be afraid to look into things, don't be afraid to stand out and maybe do something that's different than the norm. And I think for me, the most important thing is just respect the environment, respect other species, because, I mean, as human beings, we can communicate with one another and we can express, you know, emotions of fear and happiness and whatever else. Animals can't communicate in English, but that doesn't mean they don't feel those emotions, you know? So I think that people should really look into the fact that in this day and age, it's definitely possible to live a vegan, vegetarian, whatever lifestyle. You know, I know some people think it's hard and stuff, but like, trust me, I've been touring with it, it's really not hard. So I think that's probably the most important one to me. And, you know, that being said, like, racism, speciesism, ageism, all that is the same thing to me, you know? Just people should keep an open mind.
How can a person, or a young person, start living a more meaningful life if they're looking for direction in general?
I guess it depends on where you're coming from. I mean, for me, I've been vegetarian my whole life. I was raised with those values in mind. Same way maybe some people are raised with a certain religion in mind, you know? But I think that definitely what people have to do is just a lot of, you know, if you find yourself going on a path that's not necessarily a positive one, just do a lot of soul searching and think about the consequences of your action. I think that's the major thing in mind, you know? Think about if what you're doing is going to be negatively affecting you or someone else or something else, you know, and if so, maybe you shouldn't be doing it, so.
To what extent has the hardcore scene or the punk scene influenced, you know, the Agonist's message?
Well, I would have to say, I guess I write all the lyrics, so most of the message comes from me, and I grew up, I mean, before I was into metal, I was really into punk, and like, I mean, when I was young, I loved grunge and stuff, so I guess maybe that had something to do with it, but I also think that it just has to do with the fact that I want to write songs about things that I care about, so like, you know, I can't really write a song about nothing, you know, it needs to be something behind it to make me want to scream and sing, so.
Who are some of your closest friends in the Montreal scene, other bands who you support?
The Montreal scene's pretty huge, but also pretty close-knit, so I mean, like, you know, we love like Mythosis, The Plasma Rifle, Sinistry, Despised Icon, Ion Dissonance, those are all good friends of ours, and you know, the list goes on, but definitely those are the key ones.
Are you the only metal band sponsored by Vega, and how did that partnership come about?
Probably. That was actually interesting because I actually, one of my day jobs is that I work in a gym. And so I was talking with the person that sells the supplements at the gym, and I was saying, like, you don't have any vegan supplements, do you? Because it's all whey-based or whatever. And so they were like, well, no, we don't. What's veganism? And I was like, I've only been working here how long? And so I started explaining it to them. And at that exact moment, a guy named Brendan Brazier happened to be walking by, and he's like, oh, are you vegan? And then we started talking. Turns out he's the creator of Vega, and he's like a 3-time vegan triathlete winner, and he was doing a book tour across North America, and he just happened to come to my gym to work out while he was in Montreal, and so we started talking about veganism, and we kept in touch over email, and I was like, you know what, on tour, just in case it is hard to find food, it would be pretty awesome to have, like, a high-impact nutritional supplement with me, and so I got sponsored by them that way, so.
That's pretty organic.
Yeah, pretty weird coincidence, but it worked out for me, so.
What parts of the world are the band familiar with, and where would you like to travel in the next album cycle?
Well, I mean, we've toured North America, but there's definitely more touring to be done, and we want to be doing that. But we would love to hit up Mexico, and we would love to hit up Europe, and we would love to hit up Japan, because we hear like such good things about people that tour there, our friends that tour there, like Arch Enemy and Despised Icon and all of them. So, yeah, I mean, we just want to tour everywhere, because we figure, like, when people can actually meet us and talk to us, it might help them understand a little bit more where we're coming from, because sometimes people just don't know what to think when they first hear us and see us. So we like to really play shows and get to talk to the fans after and make sure that they know where we're coming from, because that, we feel like, really helps us connect a lot more.
What books are you into these days?
Books. See, that I'm weird when it comes to books. I, for some reason, really only like reading either biographies or like school textbooks. I guess I just like reading, like, to learn, but I don't really read too much fiction or anything like that. I've been trying to, like, read a lot. Like, there's one book that I'm reading now called The Ecological Conscience, and there's another book called Out of My Later Years, which is basically a big synopsis of Albert Einstein's personal works, but I like to read to learn. So, I mean, whether it's on the internet or in a book or anywhere else, if people can read and learn from it, that's what I would suggest.
Are you currently in school?
I was in school. I had to stop because we had to go on tour, so I had to take the semester off, and since then it's just been hectic with the album and trying to get more tours, so I have one semester left, but I can't finish it because we don't have time, so.
What are you studying?
Visual arts, actually.
Cool.
So, I mean, I was studying media arts and then visual arts, so it's just a bunch of, painting, drawing, cinema, communication, stuff like that, so.
And lastly, your impressions of the Canadian government.
You know what? I was talking about this yesterday, actually, because Dallas, obviously, from God forbid, has a lot to say on the political topics, but, I'm happy to be born and raised in Canada. I think it's definitely one of the better ones, but I just, like, as much as I'm an optimist and I try to keep on pushing positive messages, I can't help but think that there's just no such thing as a good government. There's so many different assets that have to be, like, looked at, and there's so many different things that can fall through, so that it's just, like, on such a huge scale, it's almost impossible to have a perfect government. Even on a smaller scale, like the municipalities, like, it's hard to have everything going smoothly for everyone. But I would say that I'm happy being in Canada.